Hi everyone, how are you doing? This is Amanda. It's good to be back with you all. Haven't posted for over a week just because I've been extremely busy, but I'm going to be doing this reading for us today, which is on twin flame stroke divine counterpart energies. And I'm also going to try very hard to get a video up for the solar eclipse on the 4th of December, I believe it is. So let's get to it. And a warm welcome to anybody that's finding me new or those of you that have already been with me a while. I do and have been tracking what we call the twin flame path stroke journey for a number of years now. I don't do that many videos on it, but I do come on and take a look at the energy every now and again. And I thought towards the end of the year would be a good time to do so. Particularly because, and yes, I have got some incense going in case you can see smoke across the screen, particularly because the last twin flame video that I did, we ended with a reference to the Nutcracker ballet. Now, I'm not a big expert on the storyline of the Nutcracker, but I do know that it's very much about the end of it, the finale of it. It's obviously a Christmas time themed ballet, and I believe it's also a film now. Disney made it into a film, but it's about unwrapping a gift, getting a gift underneath the tree. And what I was channeling in my last video when I looked at this energy was somebody coming in from the cold. And so we're going to now pick up what has happened since and the energies that I'm feeling, and then we're going to pull some cards for both the divine masculine and the divine feminine and the energy of the connection stroke relationship between you. Okay, so this isn't going to apply to everybody, but it is going to apply to a certain number of you that are linked into this particular pathway towards ascension. It's not the only pathway, but it is one, the twin flame path. Right. Last night, because I knew I was going to be doing this video today, I just shuffled the deck and I got 5 cards. Now I want to show you what the 5 cards are, and then I'm going to put them back into the deck, and they might come up again, they might not, but it's a good starting point. We have the 6 of Pentacles, Justice, and the Hanged Man in reverse. So if we look at those 3 first, the 6 of Pentacles, the Justice card, and the Hanged Man in reverse. What these are saying to me is that we are out of a limbo state. We are out of a state of stagnation. Decisions have been made by either one or both parties. And the scales are balanced. Now, the scales are balanced in combination with these other cards, particularly the Justice card, is talking about a balancing of karma. So I feel as though it's a nod to divine feminine or divine masculine who have been involved in any karmic situation, stroke relationship, stroke connection, or pattern. It doesn't have to be a person, it could be a pattern, it could be a karmic pattern. But it feels as though eclipse season and this year have helped to bring a balancing of the books so that the state of being whereby we couldn't see the wood for the trees, or we didn't want to see, or we didn't want to make a decision, we were just in this state of non-motion. Yes, reflection, yes, learning, but it's not a doing card traditionally, the Hanged Man. And that's where we've been, but it feels as though we are moving out of that now into something new. And then the 2 cards that followed those 3 were brilliant, 2 major arcana, the Strength card and the Star card. Now, those of you that are following me, particularly on social media, maybe off YouTube, I don't think I've been talking about it as much on YouTube. I keep talking about the fact that Spirit keep giving me words that begin with a particular letter. So here we've got Strength and we've got Star. And what Metatron is saying to me now, Archangel Metatron, who's my guide, is he's saying when you have energies or words, or in this place, you know, these cards that have different words but they're the same letter, what's happening is that they are amplifying each other. Okay, they are amplifying each other. So to have strength and the star is saying, I mean, the star card is the card of healing. So it's saying that it's taken a lot of strength to get through this last cycle, that a massive amount of healing has occurred, and that you also have emerged stronger from it. Now, equally, sometimes we can have lessons and healing can come about via those lessons, but they're not always the ones that we wish to have. Let's be honest, they're not. So it can have been a case of something happening to one or both parties, which has been about disappointment, betrayal, being let down, the scales having fallen from the eyes, but it's made you stronger. You know, it's that Kelly Clarkson song, Stronger. What doesn't break you makes you stronger. So it feels as though the people in this connection are emerging stronger from what has happened to them this year. And that definitely there has been a balancing of the books, either between them, the two in the connection, or if there are any third party energies, karmic connections, there's been a balancing of the books there as well. I'd like to, at this point, maybe just pull one more card for clarification of why we've got the Hanged Man up in reverse. So this is coming out of limbo. Can I just please, Metatron, have a clarification card for why we have the Hanged Man in reverse? Yes, we've got the, I never know with this deck whether it's the King of Wands or the Knight of Wands. I guess that is the Knight of Wands. Yeah, it is. Yes, it would be a K if it was the King. So it's the Knight of Wands. So it feels as though one or both of you have come out of a state of not knowing what's going on or just inaction, and suddenly we've got fire in our belly. And perfect, really, that I'm doing this video around the solar eclipse, which is all about fire. It almost feels as though you've been through a baptism of fire. I think it's going to naturally come up in this reading, but I will just bring this energy in right now at the start. I think the one of the baptism of fire that one or both parties have been through is the energy of the false twin flame. Now, this could be a whole video in itself, which I'm not going to make this whole video about false twin flame, but effectively a false twin flame is it's interesting, Metatron saying it doesn't even have to be a person, it can be an energy. That's really interesting. Yeah, because that makes sense actually, because I've been told, and my last video was twin flame is not a person, it's an energy. So of course, a false twin flame doesn't have to be a person, it can also be an energy. What a false twin flame is though, whether it is a person or whether it's an energy, because it can manifest either way, it doesn't have to come in a physical body, is anything that is trying to really throw you off your path. And I'm actually being shown it's very animalistic. I mean, we are animals. So an animal, if you've got a dog like I have, a dog will follow, particularly if it's a gun dog like Bella, they follow the scent. I was in the woods with her the other day and she got the scent of a deer or something. I've never seen anything like it. She was off. There was no way that I could control her. She didn't attack the deer, don't worry. Nothing like that happened. It was just that she was following the trail. It was in her nature to do so. So this is like, I want to call it a lower energy, came in to put one or both parties off the scent. The scent is the trail that leads you to your true twin flame, okay? To your beloved, I'm hearing. Now, the scent trail, that leads you back to each other. And of course, there's many lessons and things that you have to both heal on the path back to each other. But that scent trail never disappeared. It never got washed away. It's still there. But it's as though a lower energy came in and laid another scent trail. And it's as though our noses were sort of peaked and went with the other trail. Does that make sense? As I say, this could have been actually a physical person showing up that you thought was the twin flame. Or if it wasn't a person, it could have been anything. This is what I mean by it's an energy. Anything that took you away from the path, from the scent trail that leads you back to your beloved. That's definitely been going on as well, okay? But it was all, if it happened, it was all perfect, because what it's done is it has cleaned out and cleared out and helped you heal old patterns that would have harmed the true connection and union of your beloved. I keep wanting to say beloved. If you hadn't worked through it with another energy, okay? So you come out of it stronger, but it may very well have been quite disappointing, dismaying. I'm doing it again. D's, disappointing, dismaying, destroying, Metatron is saying, destroying, quite a destroying force. But what it was actually destroying was old templates, old patterns within you, which were keeping you going round and round in circles, okay? This can also have been within an existing relationship, and here I'm talking about karmic third-party relationships. So say, for example, your twin flame is actually in another connection, which is a karmic connection, but they have been going round and round in circles as well, okay? It's like they've been on a false trail, and that trail has now eventually led them to a dead end, which is why we've got this almost feels like a complete awakening energy, that the Justice and the Six of Pentacles together. It's as though I've done enough rounds of the lap. I've actually truly learnt my lesson, which is why I no longer have to be hanging upside down, still learning, still trying to work it out. I've worked it out. And now I have this very fiery energy. It's like, fuel in the tank. And I mean, if you look at that energy, I mean, that can be both the masculine or the feminine energy. It's very determined. It's very focused. It's got its sights set on its prey, I'm hearing, but it's good prey, okay? I mean, you are the prey effectively, but you're also the prize. Here we go again. You are the prey, you are the prize. Okay, right. These letters are fascinating me. I'm going to have to do a reading just on what all these letters mean. Anyway, right, I'm going to put these cards now back into the deck. I'm going to reshuffle, and I'm going to ask for a look at where the divine masculine is and where the divine feminine is. Please remember that you are both masculine and feminine. So you can take messages from both piles, as it were. And equally, twin flame can be same-sex relationship. It can be male-female. Don't get too caught up on a stereotypical way to look at this. Just listen to the guidance that's coming out and apply it as it fits. The energies that I've got here helping us, and let's just call them in, although they're already here, I'd like to acknowledge them, is Archangel Metatron. We also have the energy of Sanat Kumara, and we have the energy of Mary Magdelene. We've also got the energy of Jesus. Let's just bring Jesus in as well. I think I'd like to work first, though, with the energy of Sanat Kumara. I very nearly called this a twin flame spray, but held off because Sanat Kumara is more than just about twin flame. but he is about twin flame. Okay, so this, out of all of the sprays that we make and we sell, would be the one that I would recommend for you to be working with if you are on the twin flame path and you're just wanting guidance, you're wanting support, you're wanting help, you're wanting healing, etc. So firstly, we're going to do the cards in a moment. Let me just bring in the Sanat Kumara energy. And it does come in with this beautiful sort of coral, peachy, pinky. It's like a beautiful lotus flower. And we have the twin flames there on the bottle as well. So Sanat Kumara, twin flame energy, sacred connection is what he's calling it. Sacred connection. Sacred connection that transcends time. Sacred connection that transcends dimensions. Sacred connection that transcends sexual identity. Sacred connection that lifts humanity. Sacred connection it's interesting. He's saying that threatens and destabilizes the old world. And I felt this for a long time. And actually I was given I've never given you a hymn before, I don't believe. I often give songs out in my videos that say things. This is actually a hymn though that I heard before I started speaking to you. And it's Love Divine, All Loves Excelling. And it's the first couple of lines. It says, Love divine, all loves excelling, joy of heaven to earth come down. Fix us in your humble dwelling, all your faithful mercies crown. It's this thing about joy of heaven to earth. It's heaven to earth. This is I've said this before, it's a higher template love. And as such, if we have a world which has a lower density, vibration and frequency, it's going to be very hard for the blossoming of these unions until the vibration and the frequency of the earth is able to match it. That doesn't mean that it's impossible, and it doesn't mean that there are people out there already doing this and living this and already in union with each other and themselves, because you have to be in union with yourself before you can be in union with another. But it just means that I'm being shown, again, I've been shown this image before, those of you that follow me, I'm being shown the grid of the earth, and it's like, rather than grid lines, it's as though we've now got just like flowers decorating the whole of the earth. So yes, there are also some flowers blooming in different places around the earth, and I know some of you that are already in these sort of connections, but there's going to be far more blossoming and flowering of more connections. And it's going to be helped by the frequency that's rising in our earth. But as we know, we're in a bit of a battle at the moment between the old light and dark. So, but I am feeling as though Sanat Kumara is saying there's a ring of steel. There is complete and utter divine protection around sacred, consecrated unions. Which is it's beyond even pre-incarnation. It's because these are lifetimes after lifetimes after lifetimes where you find each other. They are protected with a ring of steel, and he's now saying, and an outer ring of blossom. Beautiful. Okay. It's not a question of when. It's not a question of what. Hold on a minute. It's not a question of... Okay, yeah. It's not a question of how, it's a question of when. Sorry, yes. It's not a question of how, it's a question of when. So there's this thing about the blossoming is inevitable. It's just that the pathway has been a little crooked. And indeed, with these false trails which have been laid by, I just want to call it lower energies. It's like a trickster type energy. It's like a trickster type energy that comes in. but there is teaching within that trickster energy. The trickster is actually trying to teach you something. What it's trying to teach you is discernment. You never make the same mistake again. You never then go off the trail again. All right, let's see where the divine masculine is. I just wanted to say something there about, but you don't stay on a trail which is leading you nowhere. I think we know that enough now, don't we, as a community? You know, I'm not endorsing here just staying on a trail forever and ever that leads nowhere and gives you nothing and is narcissistic or abusive. That's not what the twin flame path is. Okay, so those of you that understand what I'm saying here, I think you get that anyway. Right. Divine masculine. Let's have 3 cards then to start with. Where are they at, please, at the moment? Divine masculine. Where are they at, please, at the moment? We have the, what is that? It's the 4 of Wands, which is the, it's one of, a lot of people regard that as the twin flame card. Celebration, marriage. We've also got the Page of Wands, but he's come up in reverse. So, oh, look what's on the bottom of the deck. Wow, we've also got the 2 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. And then we've got the Knight of Cups. Let's just take those. Oh my God, then we've got the Wheel of Fortune. I have to stop somewhere. I did just say 3 cards. So let me just take these 4. I've already cheated and got a 4th. This to me, this is saying it's inevitable, okay? It's inevitable that the masculine is stepping forward. I mean, look at this. To me, different twin flame readers might disagree, but to me, these are my 2 twin flame cards. Is what I always interpret them as. The 4 of Wands and the 2 of Wands. The open gateway and the celebration and the marriage. This is what is on their mind. This connection with you. But yeah, we have the, I'll clarify this in a moment. We have the Page of Wands. He's just pausing, I'm hearing. It's just a pause. It's a temporary pause because then we have an upright Knight of Cups. Okay, what I'm hearing is, this is interesting energetically, because we've got this fiery energy, okay? The eclipse is meant to stir him up, okay? It's meant to stir the masculine energy up. But what you don't want is impulsiveness that leads nowhere. So it's almost as though the eclipse fires the masculine up, gets them stimulated, gets them excited. There's some Kundalini energy going on, let's put it that way. But it's almost like it's too hot, it's too impulsive. So it's almost as though Spirit is just saying, no, pause. You can't go in like that. You can't go in like that. But what happens is that there's an emotional balancing that seems to happen. It's the balancing between the fire and the water. And of course, what is fire and water? Fire is actually masculine energy. Water is feminine energy. It's almost as though the masculine wants to go in gung-ho just with his masculine on full show, but then Spirit pauses it and says, no, you've learnt the lesson that you have to go in and approach or connect or message or just take the next step on your journey. You have to go in both your masculine and your feminine energy, okay? And that's the same for the feminine as well. You approach each other or you take the next step on your journey in a balanced state, Yeah. Let me just have one card though, in addition to what I've just said, for why have we got the Page of Wands in reverse. I'm just hearing impulsiveness. 3 of Swords, yeah, exactly what I'm saying. If the masculine is too impulsive and is just all fired up by all this solar energy, it's sort of, it can't end in defeat, but it's not the way that it's meant to be. It's not the way that it's meant to be. It needs to be more considered. So that's that. Let's now pull a couple of cards for the feminine energy. See where she's at. So yeah, the masculine energy is all fired up, knows what it wants, has got its eye. It's almost like it's got its eye very firmly fixed on the horizon and the destination, but needs to just be a little bit more savvy about how he gets there. It can't just go in all guns blazing, okay? You can burn your bridges that way, is what I'm hearing. You can burn your bridges that way. I'm feeling it would be almost too much for the feminine. Because remember, in a twin flame connection, the feminine has often felt out in the cold, disregarded. It depends how far down your journey you are, but, ghosted as well in the early days, all of that. So you can't go from sort of like 0 to 100, which is sort of what this masculine energy is wanting to do. It's so fired up. I suddenly know I'm now not in that limbo state. I'm out of the hanged man energy. I know what I want. I'm going to get it. And it's almost like I'm seeing the feminine just literally backed to the wall. It's like, whoa, hold on a minute. It needs to be more considered. I just keep hearing it needs to be more considered, and it will. So I don't know what's going on with the astrology, whether it feels like there's a midway point. This timeline that I'm reading, there's a midway point, a cooling off point I'm hearing. Not cooling off you, just a cooling off point where consideration and a more measured approach comes in. Right, let's see what the feminine energy is like at the moment. Divine feminine energy. How is she feeling? She's waiting for the cup. Look at that. That's the Ace of Cups. What is that sticking out? That's the wheel. That was the one that was in the Divine Masculine reading, but I didn't pull. We've also got the Three of Cups on the bottom of the deck, and we've got the Moon. I'll leave it there so it's the same number of cards to start with anyway. I just want to check whether tarot card 10 is yeah, it is the Wheel of Fortune. I just wanted to make sure it was. I mean, it says wheel, but I've got so many decks. Right. She knows, she feels in her waters, I'm hearing, that destiny can no longer be stopped. That this cup is coming. It's fated to come. It's fated that there will be the Three of Cups is a celebration card. It's a card of reunion, happiness, joy, laughter, party. They're chinking their glasses together. It comes with the card of the Moon. Now, other readers interpret sometimes the Three of Cups to also be a third party situation. And I am wondering here, because I mentioned third party earlier, it's almost as though she can't quite see what's happening in a third party situation. It's deliberately veiled, but there's just this sense that somehow it's all working itself out. And as I say, the Wheel of Fortune is moving on, okay? Let me pull a clarification card for the three. Which one do I want to clarify? I don't really need a clarification on any of them, actually. Sorry, it's my daughter's teacher. Hold on. He's very loud. He's petting Bella. Right. It's funny, actually. They just had a biology lesson. I don't know whether that's relevant for this reading. Oh, God. Right, what am I doing here? I don't think I need another card. No, I don't need another card. It's not telling me anything else there. Okay, so we've got the masculine and the feminine energies there. I want to use another deck at this point because I have got a Christmas deck. I love this deck. It's also scarily accurate. So I'm going to use this deck, which is another tarot deck. I think it's called the Winter Wait deck. And I'm going to see what's going on in the connection, okay? I want to say connection because some of you aren't actually together. Some of you are. So connection, what's going on in the connection between this masculine and feminine energy? I mean, the first thing I'm feeling is just this bubbling excitement. I'm really feeling this bubbling excitement. As I say that, we've got the Knight of Swords on the bottom of the deck. It does feel as though communication is coming. Oh God, look at that. I say communication is coming, and we've got the Two of Wands. Again, that's my twin flame card. And look, he's got a gift. He has a gift. He has a gift in his hand. It's reminding me of the Nutcracker thing, the gift underneath the tree. I mean, maybe for some people there is a gift of communication coming, or maybe even a physical gift, or maybe them even turning up around Christmas time, okay? The Knight of Swords, I mean, again, the energy of the Knight of Swords here, this is just like nothing's going to stop me. Nothing's going to stop me. What's that song? Nothing's going to stop us now. Starship, nothing's going to stop us now. You know, he looks very determined. It's like he knows who he wants to give the gift to. He's turned his back on others that might want it but aren't going to get it. And he's going towards the prize. Let's see. Let's have another 3 cards. State of this connection between the masculine and the feminine. The 8 of Pentacles, working hard. And then on the bottom of the pack, again, we have the Chariot. And then we have the Queen of Cups. Okay. Working hard to get towards, on a sleigh boggan maybe, the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Hearts, the person who holds his heart, the person who holds her heart. Remember, the masculine can't come back to the feminine unless he has balanced out his fiery masculine energy with his feminine, okay? His feminine side as well. The connection energies between these two that I'm reading for feel very soft, feel very loving, feel very gentle, feels very gentle. And it's this gentleness that I'm feeling more than anything. And that's why it can't be impulsive, it can't be rushed, not after such a long path for so many people, not after such a long time. Within the box, I'm hearing, within the box is is grace and gentleness. There is also forgiveness, kindness, and starting over. It's almost as though the gift that comes are all of those qualities wrapped up with a beautiful red bow, but it's meant with, it's authentic, it's genuine. And it's as though you know it's genuine and you know it's authentic because of the experiences you may have had previously with, for example, the false twin or whatever it was that got you off the scent of your true beloved. There must be a reason why I keep saying beloved, because beloved isn't a word that I usually use. And I'm just wanting to see if there's something in the actual meaning of the word. Beloved meaning dearly loved. Well, we know that. What is the difference between loved and beloved? The main difference between beloved and loved is that the adjective beloved is more intense than the adjective love, and it's used to describe someone we love deeply. Okay, that's just like something from like the Oxford Dictionary. But yeah, it's making the point that beloved is a deeper expression of love. Okay. It may also be that some of you that are watching me use the term beloved about your counterpart. There also seems to be something very, again, go back to Sanat Kumara, very spiritual about the word. It feels almost something, it's almost like biblical. It's something you'd use in ancient days. So some of what's coming, the coming back together of these two, even if it's not actual physical union, but it is for some people, I can feel it. But even if it's not quite yet there, because union isn't the end goal anyway for everybody, but the closer you get to each other, the stronger the energy that is emanating from both of you as individuals anyway, whether you're together or whether you're apart. So, but it's also linked into the fact that you seem to be able to retrieve energies from ancient times. Now, this may very well be linked into ancient civilizations such as Egypt, Atlantis, Lemuria, but I'm also seeing the days of Christ, okay? So it's like the Essene energy. In particular, I'm feeling the Essene energy. So should we just bring in now the energy of Mary Magdalene first, and Jesus, and see if there's any message here linked into this divine love, this beloved energy that we've got here. This is the Mary Magdalene spray. So Mary Magdalene. That's very interesting. Something going on with the ears. I can feel like it's like a crackling sound around the ears. What I'm being shown is, you know, when you're out in nature and you're on your own, and maybe you're in a wood or you're in a pathway, but you're on your own and there isn't anybody for miles around, you know, for all intents and purposes, you are on your own. And then you just hear this crackling noise. It's like being in a wood and you just hear something move and it's like, what was that? And you turn and it's like you can't actually see anything yet. But there is actually something there. And what is there is this, what I'm seeing, it's almost like a holographic energy. It's an emanation of your beloved. It's like they're coming. So even if they're not physically right beside you, you're getting closer to each other. This is the first twin flame reading that I've done in years where I'm feeling we're getting closer. We're getting closer to the goal. The goal doesn't, as I say, doesn't have to be union. It can also be that sometimes your twin flame is actually passed over, you know. But remember, this love, what Sanat Kumara was saying, it transcends time, it transcends dimensions. You work together in the astral. You work together in different dimensions to bring back this ancient knowledge, whether it's the days of the Essenes, the Egyptians, the Atlanteans, but it's not just in terms of words and teachings. It's about your presence, how you conduct yourself, the way that you talk, the way that you react to things, what you give. It's a bit crass, but it's that song, like Walk Like an Egyptian. it's like there's something here about literally like you're walking like an Egyptian, or you're viewing things like an Essene would, or you are touching the earth as a shamanic elder would. There's also shamanic influence here. It's very, very beautiful. So yeah, Mary Magdalene is just giving me this analogy of being like in a wood. You feel like you're on your own because there's this energy of like, oh my God, I am on my own maybe, you know, or I do feel alone, or it's never going to happen, or, you know, it's not leading anywhere. But it's like, it's literally, it's like when people pass over to spirit, the dimensions are, we can't necessarily see them. Some of us can, but we can't, most people can't see them. But it's literally like you can put your hand through and you can touch the other dimension very easily. You have to believe and trust that it's there. I actually had a situation last night, I won't go into, but I just had, and then I sent out, I've done this occasionally, I sent out like a little bit of an SOS message to them above, you know, to my soul tribe in spirit. You know, my galactic brothers and sisters, for some assistance that I need in my own life at the moment. But I also sent an SOS out to a soulmate that I have. And I went to sleep and I just thought, you know, please, if tonight, if they could reach out in Astral, that would be lovely. I woke up in the morning and, you know, when you wake up and you're having the dream and they're there, and that's what it was. And they were there and I was like, oh my God, they are there. The SOS absolutely has been answered. And then, you know, you want to go back to sleep because you want to find out how the dream ends. So, it was very, very beautiful. And actually in the dream, it was very symbolic because for some reason I was walking behind a queen. I was walking behind a queen, and it was like a wedding ceremony, but I was holding her train like the bridesmaid. That's quite interesting, isn't it? I was like the bridesmaid holding the train. And then I didn't know what happened to the queen. I just could see that there was a queen energy. I was holding the gown. And then the person that I had asked to be connected to in spirit last night, they then were just there waiting. And they sat down beside me and they leaned into me. And I also remember hearing, and we can both lean into each other. There was this thing about leaning into each other. But I was also very aware in the dream, it wasn't codependency. It wasn't about, oh my God, I need to lean on you because I can't cope on my own, or vice versa. It was much more just like I've got your back and you've got my back type energy. It was very, very beautiful. So I don't know how we got onto all of that, but remember also that you can, it's the thing about adventures in Astral. That'd be a great name for a video, wouldn't it? Adventures in Astral. They are real, they happen, they are just as real as you bumping into somebody right now in the street. So what is union? Is union, it has to be that I bump into them in the street and then it's real. Or can it also be real where actually you're completely 110% with them in the astral, you're having that connection? It's just as real, my friends, as your departed grandmother or grandfather or mother or child or whatever who's passed to spirit, who's with you right now, okay? But you can't necessarily see them, but they're standing right beside you. Okay, and you still have a connection with them and you might still dream about them and you might be doing things with them or whatever. It's real. It's real. Okay. Right. I've got a couple of other decks here, so I'd like to bring those in at this point. But let's also, very importantly, bring in the energy of Jesus, because we did bring in the energy of Mary Magdalene. So these are my three masters that I'm working with in this video. Sanat, Kumara, Mary Magdalene, and this third one is the energy of Jesus. I'll put them all in the link below. They're all handmade, these sprays, and they just help you to connect to the masters that I'm talking about. So this is Master Jesus, Christ Light. And of course, we're in his month. We're in December. I'm going all goosebumpy as I say that. I haven't even sprayed it yet. Jesus. Twin flame energy, love. He says it's always been misunderstood. It's always been romanticized. He showed me the template of himself and Mary Magdalene. Mary Magdalene and Jesus as divine counterpart energies. Divine masculine, divine feminine, that came together to lead a mission, to fulfill an objective, to light the fire, to sow the seeds, to be the way showers. I couldn't have done it without her, is what he's saying. I couldn't have done it without her. There is an energy coming from Jesus today of just complete and utter respect for the divine feminine energy. Knowing also that, of course, stepping back from his energy for a moment, he also encapsulates that divine feminine energy. Okay, remember, it's not either or, but the manifestation of Mary in his lifetime, in his incarnation as Jesus, It's as though he's bowing to her grace, her beauty, her gifts, her abilities, the depth of what they achieved as a duo. He's wanting me to say dynamic duo, and there was part of me saying I can't say that because that doesn't sound like the sort of thing you'd say. And he's saying say it, because it's as though it's like break out of the box of what you think I am and how you think I should sound. And you know, he's wanting to make this point that he's very approachable and always humble, approachable, humble, a guide. They both are. They both come to help and to support these connections. Something I'm not quite getting at. Hold on, there's one other thing. There's something else here. What did I say? Show me the lion and the lamb, which I know have all sorts of meanings associated with, you know, his lifetime and Christianity, full stop. But he's shown me the qualities of the lion and the lamb being more like the feminine energy, more gentle, and the lion this raw when it has to, protective energy. He's shown me the lion and the lamb sitting down together. Okay, right. I mean, these are heady, very beautiful, strong energies. Right, let's now bring in an energy from Avalon, okay, Avalonian times. I'd like to pull one for the divine masculine, one for the divine feminine, and one for the state of the union. Okay, so let's first off have a card, please, for the divine masculine, and they've just flown out of the deck. We've got 4 cards. I didn't really want 4, but I've got 4. The first one, we have the energy of the green man, and that looks very much like Stonehenge to me. And it says, embrace the 3 worlds, the dawning of the green man. We've also got create and activate your DNA. We have start anew and begin again. And we have find and hold your power, the Lady of the Lake. It's interesting that the 4 cards that I've pulled for the divine masculine, only one shows a masculine energy, which is the green man. The other 3 cards show the energy of the female. Okay. It feels as though the masculine energy has really upped his game in terms of stepping into his feminine energy. It's as though it's his feminine energy that is helping him to reach for the prize, to start anew, to believe that he can actually begin again, whatever that means, okay? It also feels as though the DNA downloads that the divine masculine has had have been more about activating his feminine side, his side of receiving, his side of receptivity, his side of gentleness, softness, also about being more in his heart. It's less gung-ho and Ben-Hur, okay? And it's more, I don't know what the alternative would be. You know, it's just gentler. It's much gentler. It's like he's put down his sword. He's put down his sword. And interestingly, there is a sword in these pictures, but it's this one, but it's the woman that's holding it. And it's almost as though it's his divine masculine, it's the masculine energy I'm talking about, but the feminine energy within him is the one who has now realized that I can hold my sword, but I don't have to do this. I don't have to go and not hurt anybody. I don't have to charge. I don't have to charge in. I can hold it, and it wields great power just by holding it. I don't need to use it, just by holding it. It's this strength. And again, it goes back to what I was saying earlier on in the reading. It all makes sense now. This is why Spirit's not allowing him to just charge in all gung-ho. you know, like, you know, riding into victory in an old masculine type archetypal way to claim the prize. No, 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 no. No, this is more going to be a sort of a stroll and a holding of hands. It's much gentler. It's much gentler. And the green man energy is, what does he want to say? It says the dawning of the green man. Embrace the three worlds. What do I want to say about this card? It says incorporate a balanced judgment. Look from the viewpoint of the three perspectives, underworld, middle world, and the upper world in making decisions. The painting, sorry, I'll put the card up again. The painting compromises, the painting combines the archetypes of the male creation figures, the green man, the green knight, antlers were considered a sign of divinity by the ancient cultures because they reached upward towards the heavens. In this image, the antlers span and embrace the three worlds of the Celtic shaman, the upper world or heavenly realms, the middle world or terrestrial realms, and the underworld or otherworldly realms. Entrances to these are pictured through the portals in the background. Yeah, it's as though the masculine has graduated, I want to say, to be able to truly walk the different dimensional realms and visit them. Wow. I mean, that's no mean feat, is it? That's an achievement. Well done to the divine masculine. Well done. Remember, it's you as well, whether you're a male or a female, you have the divine masculine within you. Okay, let's have a look at the, what does this deck want to say about the divine feminine, please? What message is there for the divine feminine? Be the powerful space between opposite poles. I've talked about this card before on videos linked into duality. You know, it's like she's here. Those of you that understand the tree of life and the middle path, she is honouring and holding the middle path. She's letting go of duality, of right and wrong, light and dark. She's becoming non-dualistic. She's entering more into unity consciousness. She's also able to straddle the different dimensions and the different worlds. But yeah, it's the middle path. She's had to compromise. She's learnt compromise. What's a powerful card? What goes with that one? Be the powerful space between opposite poles. It's very much about, she's also, oh, okay. Yeah, okay, I'll take that one as well on the bottom of the deck because it's the Vesica Pisces. It's the same thing. Can you see with the divine feminine? It's the same thing. She's in the middle. She's in the middle. Vesica Pisces is the creation, is the merging of the two to create the third energy. Here we've got, she's in the middle. It's as though she's more in the present moment. She's not in the past. She's not in the future. She's in the present moment. And here now we've got the Vesica Pisces. It's the card of divine intervention. She's been helped. Feels like the divine feminine has been helped. Divine intervention has stepped in. Divine intervention is saying it's time for these two to get closer along the path with each other. It's time for these two, whether it's in astral or physical 3D earth, to bring their gifts, to come together. It's the Holy Grail. It's the Holy Grail. It's the fact that this is what the world is searching for, this higher expression of love. And just look at that card, because Just look at that sacred blue, beautiful heart around the earth, and the earth split in two, welcoming the new earth. I just took this one more card from the top of the deck. I'm just looking at it before I show you. It says seek the symbols and decipher their meaning. But what I'm really wanting to talk about in this card is that here we have the female. She's waiting with a lion, the mask. So it's almost like, that's what I was just saying. It's almost like he's already here. Even if he's not physically, you're holding his hand, he's already here. He's already there with you. It's what I was saying about in terms of when people pass over, and it's like literally the veils are so thin, you've just got to reach out. They're there. Literally, there's somebody there right now. Just reach out. Even if you can't see them, they're still there. He's already there beside her. The masculine energy, the lion, and whether that's, he's there. And what's she holding in her hand? She's holding a Merkaba. What does Merkaba do? Merkaba is something where you can travel. It's like your own little interdimensional spaceship. You know, within your Merkaba, you can travel anywhere around the planet. I wondered why I had it on the grid here. Within your Merkaba, you can travel anywhere. Within not just the planet, within the whole solar system. You do that to be with him or her. Okay? She knows the power of the Merkaba. She knows that she can, by using this, she can summon, not summon, but, well, I suppose it is sort of a summon, but it's polite summon, it's a gentle summon. She summons him to her side. When, you know, when the SOS signal goes out, he can come to her, he can be there. And she knows that, she knows her power. She doesn't abuse her power either. It's not a plaything. You don't play with Merkaba. It's just sort of, you know, it's something to be respected. It's something to be respected. And you also can only activate your Merkaba when you are in a high enough frequency. If you're in a frequency of lower energy, of greed, of like, well, I want it, a bit like the child, I want to be able to see him or her, I want that, and why shouldn't I? And, you know, no, it won't happen. It has to come from a place of true heart-centered consciousness, 5D consciousness. Your Merkaba activates when you're in 5D consciousness and above. Okay, but that's really what we've got here. I mean, look at these two. It's like, can you fit, what I feel when I look at this, the masculine and the feminine, is I feel great strength from both of them. It feels as though both of them know their own worth. He knows his own worth, she knows her own worth. Independence, I'm hearing. Identity, yeah, I know, I'm doing it again. Independence, identity. Insecurity has been shown the door. I mean, of course, we all have a little bit of insecurity because you're a human being, but I'm saying the overwhelming insecurity of like, does he love me? Does she love me? You know that he loves you. He knows that she loves him. It doesn't even need to be said. It's nice if it is said, but words are almost irrelevant between these two. They're virtually irrelevant. They've climbed a lot of mountains together, physically and very much symbolically. Who was Queen Califa? Right. Queen Califa. The legend of Queen Califa, Empress of the Golden Isle, was a tale heard by the Spanish when they arrived, and hence named the land of golden poppies, California. Queen Califa sits in a natural seat in the pyramid rock, on which are very finely carved symbols of the sunken continent of Lemuria. Oh, it's linked into Shasta, Mount Shasta. Okay, I don't know anything about that really, but there we go. Maybe that's the Queen in my dream last night, because it was weird why I was seeing the Queen in my dream. But again, I don't think I said earlier on, that thing about being the bridesmaid, holding the Queen's trail. What's that phrase about? Remember, you know, in weddings when the bride has her posy and then she throws it into the crowd and who's going to get it next? You're the one that gets it next. That's the whole point of the dream. You're the one that gets it next. Oh, it's getting exciting, isn't it? Very exciting. Right. Do I need any more cards here? I don't think I really do. I think I'd like to just end with Sanat Kumara again. Sanat Kumara. He's saying go to that deck. One final message. Christmas message. God. Oh my God. Right, Christmas message. You can't make this stuff up. Honestly, this is ridiculous. But it's so perfect. It's the Justice card, but on this version of the Justice card, because this is the Winter Wait Tarot, we've basically got a guy who looks a bit like Father Christmas. Naughty or nice. Can you see the card? It says naughty or nice. I mean, I like the fact that the Ascended Masters have a sense of humour. I really do. Thank God they do. Because it's literally, it's like, are you on the naughty list or are you on the nice list? I mean, in all seriousness, let's think about that whole analogy of Father Christmas, naughty, and have you been nice or have you been naughty? If you've been naughty and horrible, naughty means lower energy, you know, you haven't done your work, you haven't even attempted to forgive or, you know, move on, or a little tweak there, you know, that's what I mean by naughty. Well, you don't get the gift, do you? You don't get the gift. Father Christmas, the gift, it comes to those who have been nice. And I like that word nice in this concept, because actually it's what I was talking about. The gift is given. The gift, remember, it contains the energy of forgiveness, compassion, niceness, gentleness, good things, qualities that our earth needs, okay? But you get it if you've got it within your heart. If you haven't got gentleness and goodness within your heart, you aren't going to get the result that you want, okay? It's like justice gets served, but not from a vengeful place, not from a place of, right, you go and sit in the corner, you've done nothing, so you get nothing. You'll still get something. But the ones that have really done the work, the sugar candy canes are coming out. How, I just love that. I love the way that that has ended. I will just say, the bottom of the deck, we've got the Queen of Wands, and then we've got the Page of Cups. Yes, it's what I've been saying. Queen of Wands gets the Page of Cups. Comes with an offer, or a message, or a gesture, or a nice dream, you know, or a nice connection in the physical or the astral. The Queen of Wands, you know, sunflower, happy times. Beautiful. I hope you enjoyed that reading. I will put the sprays that we've used below. They're all brilliant, and they just help you, as I say, along your twin flame path. The decks that I've used today are the Tarot Grand Lux, the Art Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle, and the Winter Wait Tarot. To be honest, I got this from a tarot collectibles site, so I don't even know whether you can get it that well or not. I just use it at Christmas and this month of December, but it is very, very accurate. Anyway, guys, much love. Take care of yourself. I hope you get your gift underneath the tree. And if not, remember to give yourself the gift. And the ultimate gift is self-love, okay? Self-love and compassion and gentleness to self as well. Take care of yourselves. Much love. Bye-bye for now. I'll be back hopefully soon with the solar eclipse video for everybody. Bye for now. Bye.